You are watching the new second place man, Michael Schumacher, who came in and took on new tyres on lap 13 from second place. So the race now depends on what the Ferrari tyre strategy is. Gerhard Berger's tyres will be getting more and more worn. Schumacher is on new tyres, and the question is, how long would it take for the Ferrari to come in, stop, take on new tyres and rejoin, and would Schumacher retake the lead? Take the lead.
Well, I certainly would have expected Gerhard Berger to come into the pits on this lap. He hasn't. He's just gone by the end of his 15th lap there, and that does indicate, bearing in mind it's a 45-lap race, and normally these drivers and teams have a strategy of stopping at exactly 30, and in comes Verstappen there. Verstappen coming into the pits, again the right thing for him to do, because he was being held up by the Ligier. The Ligier with its Renault engine is very quick indeed down the straights, about 10 miles an hour faster than Verstappen, in fact. Into the pits he comes. Very difficult as a driver, you know, to judge. We had a quick glimpse of it from Verstappen. Oh, and fuel. That's the first time we've had a fuel splash. Oh, my goodness me.
Well, now, just let's keep calm. There are a lot of fire officials down there, and the fire is already out. And remember, when Gerhard Berger had his car burst into flames in Imola and he was sitting in the car unconscious, the fire marshals still got him out in plenty of time. And Verstappen should not have been in that car for more than a couple of seconds or so. They have medical air piped through to their helmets in case of a problem like this. And you can see the Benetton down there, and I cannot see Verstappen in it, so they've got him out safely. But that's the first time that the thing that everybody has feared since the reintroduction of refueling has happened. And with Verstappen out, the situation on lap 17, as you look at the lone Ferrari, is that he, Gerhard Berger, is leading the German Grand Prix. Replay.
Right, there was the replay there. Now, when the nozzle came out of that, that was supposed to seal it. The fuel splashed, and see how 2-3 seconds later, that tremendous inferno there. Verstappen in the middle of it must have been absolutely terrified. I saw him get out of the car after the fire marshals did a superb job. And in fact, the team have their own mechanics there. They're all in fireproof clothing. They all have extinguishers. They put the fire out very quickly indeed. But dreadfully frightening moment for Verstappen. The first time, as we've said, it's happened this year, but proves that it can happen. But those couplings should have self-sealed. That should not have been able to happen. That fuel is under a modest amount of pressure, and we saw that what must have been 2 or 3 gallons there spraying out. And clearly, with the heat that surrounds these cars, it was virtually inevitable that there was going to be a fire. But certainly very well dealt with, and hopefully no one has suffered any injury there because of the safety contingencies that exist.
Gerhard Berger now, is he coming into the pits on this lap? This is lap 17. If he keeps on going consistently, and into the pits now comes the Williams, and Gerhard Berger goes through. David Coulthard is coming in from 12th position, and there is no activity around the Williams. It's not a tyre stop, so this looks like yet another, the 13th retirement in the German Grand Prix. And Michael Schumacher is in trouble. Did you see that burst of smoke from the back of the car? Jonathan, your view?
Well, his engine sounded dreadful. Just as he came past us in the commentary box, the engine sounded dreadful. I am sure Michael Schumacher has a terminal engine problem there.
Well, he's been forcing, yes, that is Schumacher, and he's going visibly slower. He's going visibly slower. The crowd will be absolutely distraught. So will Michael, of course, because he was desperately hoping to become the first German to win his home Grand Prix at a World Championship event. And Michael Schumacher looks to me as though he is virtually touring in now. Something very dramatic has happened at the back of the car. I'm not going to say it was engine because I don't know, but oh, there you're looking back at him now. And he's banging his fist in sheer agonized frustration. Gerhard Berger is coming in to the pits. Now, he's safe. He's safe. He will have had a message from the Ferrari radio system to say that Michael Schumacher is out, because they can watch television just as easily as we can. And you are watching race leader Gerhard Berger, who is now 32 seconds ahead of Olivier Panis, making what may be his only tyre stop.
It's quite a long stop there for Gerhard Berger. Looks like they may have... No, he's okay. He is putting a lot of fuel on board that car. In fact, he's for sure lost about 6 seconds, 6 or 7 seconds, though. He should have had, I think, about 9 or 10 seconds worth of fuel. He stopped on lap 20. That's as we thought for making just one stop. But some kind of a problem. I don't think it'll cause him any significant problem in terms of the result, as Schumacher comes into the pits now, and that surely must mean retirement for Schumacher.
And it's a very, very close thing for first place at the moment, because as Gerhard Berger drove out of the pit lane, thundering past the commentary boxes, which are on the start and finish area, went Olivier Panis. But during the race, Berger was lapping, of course, a lot quicker, and this indeed is the bitter sight for the people in the grandstands and for the Benetton team of Michael Schumacher, who has won so many races this year that even with his penalty after Britain, he's leading the World Championship by 27 points, retiring from the German Grand Prix. Well, bad news for McLaren and Martin Brundle fans, because he seems to have pulled out of the race. Indeed, I'm beginning to wonder how many people are going to finish the German Grand Prix. There were only 12 left running when Martin Brundle stopped, so that's down to 11 now. And you're watching Gerhard Berger on his 22nd lap, having made his tyre stop. There is the Ligier behind him in second place. So Berger leads. Tony Jardine has news for us.
Yeah, I'm behind the Benetton pit, and Michael Schumacher has just walked past ejectedly, but there is some good news, because I've had it confirmed by the team that everybody is A-OK. Jos Verstappen is back in the motorhome. He's all right. And one of the mechanics that was very slightly burnt in the face has come out to say, please tell everybody at home we're A-OK.
Good news. Thank you, Tony Jardine. And that is Olivier Panis in the Ligier Renault, hardly believing his luck.